show rolling. Bringing up this next fella. Make some noise, Peculiar Pub, for the one, the only, Uncle Rocky.
Looking a little limp there, boy. Need a little more Viagra.
Retail. Testing with the phone. Rookie mistake.
All right, so the hold is not going to work.
Next time.
So welcome to the Peculiar Pub. We're on Tuesday nights. There's no kiss cam. So you guys want to make out, go for it. You know, I see a lot of these baby videos of musicians and actors on Instagram and Facebook. So my wife says, why don't you look for something where you can make a baby video of yourself? And I said to her, that's really not a good idea. Why would I want to do anything that's going to make my dick look smaller? So you can see how I struggle to get up here. My mobility's a little bit compromised. So we decided to buy a mobility scooter so I can get around a little bit. It obviously comes from China. We bought it from Amazon. And so, you know, you open up the package and you get the little manual, M-A-N-U-E-L. So they bring a Mexican into it right away. So you start going through the manual and it says, welcome to your elderly scooter. First line, welcome to your elderly scooter. The scooter is made by the Happy Rocky Family Scooter Company in Beijing. And as I go through this and I'm reading the things, it's clear to me there's definitely a communication gap. Hopefully I don't read the instructions and they take me down a road where I can't get back. You know, I got off all the pain meds from all my surgeries by using medical marijuana. So before I go to bed at night, I'll take some edibles and I'll smoke my vape. And I go into bed and I start telling jokes into my phone, which crack me up. The next day I look at them and I'm like, what the fuck was this? The stuff that's funny in my head when I'm stoned just doesn't land during the day. You know, last time I was here, I was telling you guys about my experience with MRIs. I'm very claustrophobic. I take a lot of drugs for an MRI, 30 milligrams of Valium. You too? You too. I have some edibles, I smoke my pot vape, I take some Advil PM. By the time I get up there, I'm looking like Keith Richards. What occurs to me is I could cut all of that out and I could eat something called fugu. You know what fugu is? Fugu is blowfish, and if it's not prepared right, it basically puts you into a coma. I figure this is good for an MRI. So, are there any married people in here? There's got to be a few married people, right? Okay. So, you know when your wife makes a friend, suddenly you're going out to dinner with your wife's new friend and her husband. This is a double-edged sword. What I find is I make a decision pretty quickly. For instance, if the guy shows up wearing linen pants and sandals, I'm faking a mini stroke and we're getting out of here. You know, we're married 40 years, right? Long-term marriage. You get very comfortable with each other. I remember when my wife would drive to another jurisdiction just to fart. Now it's like living with me. She just leans over and lets it go. It's like living with myself. Have you noticed the voice on the emergency broadcasting system has changed? It's now a nice, friendly female voice. If you remember, last hurricane season, you had Bobby Kennedy. You had Bobby Kennedy giving the warnings. It's going to be a very, very, very windy day. 70 mile an hour winds. It could be a category 4 by the time the next landfall. Bobby's out. So, I used to travel a lot on business, and me and a colleague were in Italy. And I reached out and I was able to make some contact with family in Naples. So he and I traveled down to Naples to go see them. He's from Alabama. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. So we go in there and we don't know hardly any Italian. They know hardly any English. So we're talking into our phones and we're sort of showing each other what we're saying. A distant cousin walks in and he walks in, he waves, and he goes in the back and he's talking into his phone, and The phone's not responding. He's talking into his phone, it's not responding. Finally, he gets so frustrated. And in town, he comes up to me, he goes, "Io sono Mario and piacere," which means, "My name is Mario, it's nice to meet you." What I found out is Siri, it don't speak Southern, it don't speak Brooklyn, and it certainly doesn't speak deaf. That's my time, everybody. Thank you. I love Rocky.